And welcome to Barrel Proof episode number 70. I'm getting this down. Tonight, since we are on camera once more, you'll see who's here. We've got Brian Davis.
Howdy.
We've got Wayne Estopinal from LCFC. We'll get with him in just a second. Ken Luther, president of the Coopers. Myself, Timothy Clark,
Hello.
also of the Coopers. Boys, what did we do this weekend?
What did I do? Oh, I was out of town for some work trip, so boring stuff. My liver is slowly recovering.
Slowly.
It was an award ceremony. It'll bore you. We're good. Go on to somebody else. I'm quite sure people that went to the game had a lot more fun than I did.
There you go.
Well,
I went up the Dirty River.
Dirty River.
I went to this place called Cincinnati and watched a lot of good things happen.
That's where all the dirt comes from.
what did we settle on? Is that the Dirty River Shootout? Is that that's
Dirty River Derby.
Derby. The river is
Derby.
quite dirty.
No, the dirty. Well, how about the Dirty River Shootout? Like playing off the one in Texas?
Can't
No, they have the
change
Red
things
River
now.
Shootout,
I don't
Oklahoma.
know.
Nobody knows what I'm talking
I don't
about.
know.
There's a whole
It's
hashtag
too violent.
campaign.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they've
too
already-
violent. It ain't gonna work.
No.
Yeah.
That only works
Derby.
because it's Texas and
Derby,
Oklahoma.
yeah.
They can call it a
Down there
shootout.
they can get away with shootout. Up here we can't get away with.
Kentucky.
Heaven forbid the home of the Hatfields and McCoys don't
Right,
use the
it's-
word
No,
shootout.
can't use that.
All right, fair enough.
You could use that hashtag. Hatfield McCoy.
It's not West Virginia.
Bad idea.
The real McCoy? No, I don't know.
It's not West Virginia.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's keep
Wayne,
going.
what'd you do?
I did go to see the Derby, the Dirty River Derby.
Yeah,
Now
I
you
almost
see-
got you
now
doing
you got
it.
me all
You
set
wanna
up.
say it,
Sorry.
don't you?
Yeah, I want to say it bad, but no, it went up. My daughter and I went up, and we had a really nice time. Wow. Thank you, boys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We hate on them, but they did a good job.
Yeah, we sent about 19,000 home, a little disappointed because we had damn near 1,000 up there.
I love it. That's some good traveling.
It was
I think
great.
we put 200 or 300 to the St. Louis games last year, maybe a little less than that.
Maybe a little less. But
Yeah.
this time, a lot of purple in the stadium.
Which we could probably expect double that. I'm thinking 2,000 or 3,000 back from Cincinnati when they come here, maybe.
Yeah, they'll show strong here. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they've got a professional. I mean, they've got professional sports. They're used to traveling to games. It's in their blood, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Ken, what about you?
Hey, Joe and I got up there about, what did we say, 3:30, some 4 o'clock, and we went to the place called the Brass Tap, and we met up with actually all the Coopers and affiliates kind of met there, and then we went over to a parking lot. It's like this postage stamp sized parking lot, and met the Pride and hung out with them. And then the ultras were there, not the cornbread ultras were there, dressed
some of their
in,
cornbread.
Yeah, they brought cornbread and
Apple butter.
passing around a bottle of bourbon. Yeah. and then we all
full
kind
contact sport.
Okay.
it was.
Told you it was a shootout.
Yeah.
And then we met up across the street from the Brass Tap again, and we marched down into the stadium. And we almost got lost a couple times on campus, and we cut through the library, I think, at one point, and they didn't really appreciate that. And then we came up into the stadium. And then when we came around, and we didn't really know where we were going, so we just kind of came into the first gate we got to, which I don't think was the right gate. So we marched kind of all the way around the stadium behind the Bailey, and we got loud behind the Bailey, and they're all kind of looking behind us. They know more than 2 songs. That's not fair.
No drums, though.
I see what you did there.
No drums.
I
we
heard
would've
they
drowned
canned
them
your
out.
drums for you.
They
Yeah.
did. It was.
It's not good. We'll let them bring drums in here, though, right?
We've
Should.
been debating that.
I mean, do you want to
No,
be?
we won't.
Do we want to
Oh.
be diplomatic?
Turnabout's fair play. Then it's up to
Okay,
you
that's-
guys.
we got- that's-
yeah.
Yeah, I don't
We'll
think
have
you
to-
let them.
That's brass right
We'll have to let Amanda know. Yeah.
I actually talked to her on the field about it at the game, and she was going to dig into a little bit on that one. Honestly, we had a conference call with their front office about 5 days before the game, and we asked. I just kind of went down the laundry list of things that we normally bring to our games, and the first thing I asked about was drums, and I think they just said no because they didn't really know what to answer. I don't think they really thought it through. So if we asked them again, they might reconsider, because now they know that we might reciprocate with the same types of standards. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's your all's call.
I think their drums should have a one-game band.
Yes.
Ban. Sorry, not banned. That was terrible.
Completely.
That was absolutely terrible. One game restriction, and then we can open it back up to
We're going to give
negotiation
them
after
a
that.
Sean Reynolds then. Yeah.
Oh.
Sean Reynolds.
Okay. We're starting with them early. I like
Wow,
it.
we're just
Yeah.
going right in that.
I don't think that second yellow, if we're talking about it, was.
That was as soft as a.
Pat's telling me it was.
It was
he
about
put-
as soft as a Kleenex.
Coley was going down the entire game.
Yeah. That was not a second yellow. Sure as hell, not a red. So.
You can make the argument professional foul, and if that had been a
Who's gonna
first
make it?
yellow, it certainly would have been a first yellow, but a second yellow to get ejected from the game is
I've
pretty
seen
harsh.
3-year-olds go down harder than that. Yeah.
There's a less
Not
diplomatic
good.
way to say that we prefer on the pod.
I prefer that
but
he's
again,
saying it, not us.
that guy, chalk that up to things that I'm not going to comment.
You sharpen your nails tonight, man.
It was
Feisty.
an
Yeah.
interesting foul, but it was interesting.
It was. That's being nice about it.
Well, I haven't seen the replay. I didn't see the highlights because I suck. I know. So was it? But
You were
I know
there.
I got to
You were
start
there.
taking this, my responsibilities here seriously.
I mean,
But I mean, would it have been a yellow if it was his first yellow? If he hadn't had a
think
yellow?
so.
yeah.
I think so.
I'm sorry, but if it's going to be a yellow, then it's a yellow the second time around.
I agree, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure the first one was a yellow.
Because there was a subsequent push by Cincinnati on us a few minutes later. Didn't receive anything.
It was physical, but it wasn't. It wasn't a yellow. Sorry. And Sean's a great guy. He plays really hard, and everybody knows it. So they probably took advantage of that. But I think the wonderful thing is we spent 55 minutes or so holding them off, and a 3-2 score does not indicate how well we played.
Oh,
Well,
not at all.
I mean, it was 3-1 all the way, baby.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I
I think the whole team was really, really, really good.
I would
Everybody
suggest-
across the board.
I would suggest if we had not gotten a red card and we had kept 11 on the field, it would have been more than 3-1.
I mean, right before halftime, we almost scored the fourth.
Yep.
I mean, it put it right across the goal mouth. I mean,
someone just had to put their foot on it.
yeah, it could have been 4-1 easily, even playing with 10 men.
We were
So,
tearing them apart.
Yeah, I mean,
all first half.
There was a column on Purple Kingdom today that pointed out that even with 10 men down, it looked like they got more ferocious. The chances still.
Our
occurred.
guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
It was a different kind of soccer we were playing. though.
Yeah,
We were
survival
defending with
mode.
counterattack, which was brilliant that Lancaster came on, around 59 minutes or something like that, because he fresh legs to play, challenge them in the midfield so they don't have a free rein to bring it down, and then have that counterattacking potential on them, which he almost scored on too in the second
Yeah,
half.
you always worry about the subbing after you're 10 men down, but I thought James and Daniel and Tabani had a great game themselves. Thought they really coached well.
It was the right move to bring Shinosky on and take Niall off.
Yes.
But Niall has been playing so well lately. I was really kind of sad to see that, because he's been doing really well.
If not for that card, he probably stays on, right?
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to go 9 men.
No.
9's a bad number in
It's-
soccer.
yeah.
10's bad, but 9's really bad.
Yeah, that 3-2 game might not be 3-2. Wayne, we're going to jump right in it before we get to the questions. Brian points out that, how did you get in the soccer business for those who are watching and listening for the first time?
Well, first of all, when you guys asked me to be on, I was honored, but to have done 70 of these, thanks to every one of you who helped make it happen. I do listen to a lot of them. I can't say I've hit all 70, but yeah, I mean, some of them that participated don't remember
hurts.
70 of them.
Yeah, I can't say
Right,
that
right.
everyone I remember distinctly.
That bourbon's
The
rough.
bourbon one's out. The one out of Bullet is legendarily.
Yeah.
What'd you say that was a
Heavy
contact
drinking.
sport?
Yeah, it's
that
a
was
full
a contact day.
sport. Yeah, but thanks to all you guys are doing and helping to build this team. A lot of people do listen because a lot of people tell me about them, and so I know it's a lot of work, it's a lot of time, probably a lot of money, and eventually we hope we'll make you guys proud. So, but thank you. It's
Builds culture.
It's been great. How I got started, it all goes back to, and I say this so that you can realize that sometime in your life, it was a decision. It was a decision to go to dinner. And it was my son and I and a guy who played soccer here in Louisville at Ballard High School, Vijay Diaz, worked for me at Mockingbird Valley Soccer Club. And Vijay, my son Andrew, and I were in London. And quite truthfully, I don't, it wasn't this premonition, but I knew soccer was coming to America. And this is about 9 years ago. And Vijay came to me and said one evening after we spent 3 or 4 days in London and saw Eric Clapton in London acoustic, and we had a great trip. It was
That sounds terrible,
It
though,
was
that-
unbelievable.
Poor thing.
That
Yeah, it
sounds-
was unbelievable. But Vijay
talking
said
about London, Kentucky. But
no.
Why would he come here?
This is other side of the water. But Vijay said, "Hey, I'm going to go to dinner tonight with my former agent. He's an attorney here with Bestwick's in Stoke." And he said, "You want to go to dinner?" And I looked at Andrew and I said, "You want to go to dinner?" And thank God my son said yes. And we went to dinner. I met Gary Meller, who is still a consultant in Orlando City, and he's a consultant to us at Louisville City. And he's really an incredibly well-connected man. And he tells me about this guy in Austin, Texas, named Phil Rollins, who has a USL team, and he's looking for investors.
This is the Aztecs, correct?
Yeah, Austin Aztecs. And subsequently, I came back, and we had dinner with Gary and Sarah Meller, wonderful people and still a great friend. And we go down. I went down and visited Phil and Kay in Austin, and I invested. And that's how I got involved in Orlando City. And a year and a half later, we moved from Austin to Orlando, and what a blueprint for an architect to say that. But Phil's been a great friend. Gary Meller's been a great friend, and that's how I got involved. So it all started with Vijay Diaz.
Yeah.
And Vijay's out in Montana and working for a university assistant coach for a women's team, and he was a great influence, and he made all this happen. So Louisville may not have had pro soccer had it not been for those connections.
Okay.
Now, if I can, going a little deeper, because, if you've played soccer in Louisville, you've played at Mockingbird, and Mockingbird's been there as long as I could remember.
Since dirt. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing there for a long I've gotten plenty of yellow cards there.
We've blown out a lot of knees there.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ooh, don't say that. But how did that get started? Because, I'd love to just hear the story of you got in on this early as far as soccer goes.
Two guys came to visit me at my office one day, and Vince Malcolm and Ted Nichols, and both of them sat in my office one day and said, "Hey, this won't take any of your time." I really, God bless, they lied.
I was like, that's terrible.
That was one
Shame
big
on them.
that was one big freaking lie. But they said Chris Burkle wants to sell Mockingbird, and with your help, we can buy it. And I did, and they were partners with me for a while, and subsequently they've moved on, and Ted's got Fall City and some other stuff going on, and Vince is still great. I see him and his wife around town a lot, and so those two guys got me into Mockingbird, and that's how Mike Freitag called me from IU one day and said, "Hey, Vijay Diaz is looking for a job, and he played at Ballard, and do you need some help?" And that's it was a weak moment. I said yes, and Vijay came down, and next thing I know, I hired Vijay, and then the trip to London. So all weird connections. But
so were you a fan of soccer before this, or was this just kind of a business kind of thing? Or
No. It was my both kids played a lot.
Okay.
My daughter played at Sacred Heart Academy, and my son played at St. X on a really good side there, and they got me involved, and I really enjoyed the game. It was a great game. It's very tactical, and I've always felt fit for life was the saying, and these kids have to run, man. So we're making a lot of kids fit for a little bit more of their life than they would be. So that's how we got Mockingbird going.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Should we go ahead and dive into it?
Yeah, we should.
All right.
I think, let's get
Now,
to
we
know Wayne.
we do this with every guest that we have on the show.
Let it happen.
And so what we'd like you to do here, it's supposed to be like 90 seconds. It's not 90 seconds.
Will you pass me your pen?
Nothing I undertake ever finishes on time.
Yeah, it's like your sales pitch for
Take a
Mockingbird.
pen
What
down.
the hell?
Will you
Yeah.
pass me your pen before you start? Don't poke my eye out.
So, yeah, we've been doing this. That was professional right there.
You guys
For those
are
of you
good.
need to watch the YouTube
Great-
video
great
just
hand
to see the
skills.
toss and
Yeah,
the throw.
great
It was
hand
great.
skills there.
He couldn't help but catch it. That was how good a throw it was.
Years of practice.
Was that?
Nothing. Years of practice. Nothing.
So we'd just like you to answer these questions. First thing that pops into mind. All right? So your favorite musician or band?
Houndmouth, Collective Soul, Darius Rucker.
Wow. All right.
Houndmouth,
Collective
New
Soul.
Albany, New Albany, Indiana.
Who led him in
Collective
yet?
Soul.
You don't hear Collective Soul very often. I like
No.
Collective Soul.
Yeah.
They show up on the on the Lithium channel on Sirius XM. if you
Pandora
ever get a
sent me
chance.
something today.
Yeah, the Collective Soul is fun. Your favorite song right now?
Better Now by Collective Soul and Old American Pie.
The original?
Yeah, hell yeah, Don McLean.
Okay.
Yeah, I want it played at my funeral. Yeah.
Okay, well, we don't
have
somebody
to
write
get that
down.
dark.
Yeah, write that down.
Man, like,
I mean-
No, I mean, it's
early in the show.
Hey, it's going to happen. So I'm just preparing.
and
man.
he's not
Architects are planners, right?
Oh, fair enough. Okay,
God
fair
damn
enough.
right. Yeah, let's do it.
And he's not even thinking about it. Like
No,
everybody
yeah.
else thinks about it. He's like, okay, you asked me to just blurt it out, and I'm going to blurt it out. All right, favorite restaurant in Louisville?
Wild Rita's. Going to have dinner there tonight.
Nice.
I do like Wild Rita's.
Wild Rita's is
great,
good.
Great margarita stuff.
Yes, good stuff. Favorite food?
Mexican, truly. It goes back to days in Shreveport where I've got an office. The Superior Grill. Unbelievable Mexican there.
Favorite type of Girl Scout cookie?
Thin Mint.
I'm getting.
Is that bad?
Yes, it's the wrong answer.
Sorry,
It's the same one everybody answers.
It proves
I
a
love Thin Mint.
It proves a conspiracy.
I mean, next to Oreos, that's like gold. Yeah.
By the way, I think we talked
I
about
have
the
two-
cinnamon roll Oreos. Did anybody else try those when they were
No,
out?
no, I'm a traditional.
Oh, they were amazing.
Delicious.
They were amazing.
Nah, you got to stay with the traditional stuff.
I'm with you. I'm a traditional.
Something new every
I
once
got
in a
two.
while.
I got two things of it in my cabinet.
Sometimes it's
right
fun to have a little strange, and the cinnamon roll Oreos were definitely strange.
Ooh. Okay.
That's something the kids say. All right, favorite vacation spot?
Miami.
Nice. Must-watch TV. What's your favorite TV show?
Big Bang Theory.
That's easy. Yeah, that's good. That's a good show. That's a good show.
Something about Howard, I think it is what it is.
His fashion sense.
Yeah, I guess.
Something about Howard.
All right, in the movie, the Wayne Estopinal story, who plays you?
The guy that plays Howard. Probably.
Howard plays you.
I don't know the dude. I don't know the dude's
We usually
name,
get
but
like,
I'm-
I like Brad Pitt or George
Yeah,
Clooney.
no,
I was going to say
the
Ben
geek that
Stiller,
plays
and let's go
Howard.
for something like a comedic,
Stiller.
yeah, some comedic seriousness.
I don't know.
Right?
The Howard.
Do we get to vote and pick who
We did
plays
now.
Wayne?
You
What was
guys
that?
Can do
We get to
whatever.
vote and pick who plays Wayne right now. We just added a whole another element.
We're going to add a segment to this. All right, you guys mull it over. We'll
Yeah,
discuss
we'll
later.
come
We should
back
do
to
this off air.
Ben
We'll
Stiller.
rebound to that.
Your since we've done apparently your favorite actor. Who's your favorite actress?
Oh God, that's. I'm older than you guys. That's the problem. Yeah, not all. Yeah, that's right. Joe.
And the
Sorry,
drum
Joe.
corps says not everybody.
I don't know. Susan Sarandon and that era. you
What
know.
what era of Susan Sarandon?
Well, Jesus, I don't see enough movies. I work so damn much. Shit, everybody knows that. Jeez, I mean Susan Sarandon or one of those. You know.
Okay. What's your favorite movie?
Caddyshack, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
Go with the
Caddyshack.
classics.
No.
Yeah, I don't need stress in my life. I like something to laugh at.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
All right. Marvel or DC?
Marvel. Yeah.
That's been everyone's been Marvel, right? Nobody can argue with that. Superman, Batman, like nailed that
Yes, did.
argument in the
Yeah,
coffin.
I go
If you got
Marvel.
any superpower, what would it be?
You've
thought about this. I can
have.
tell.
I have. Cars booming down the street with their ridiculous music, making their bumpers vibrate. I'd like a ray gun that would just make their car blow up.
What if they were
know.
Like blow up?
Blow up. Nobody gets hurt, but like the shit.
Like they get ejected out of the car
Yeah,
and
the
then the car
stuff
blows
just
up?
falls off the car.
Okay.
And they're sitting in the middle of the pavement.
What if
you
it was
know?
Collective Soul they were listening to?
But even if it's that loud and the stuff's vibrating,
So it's
I don't
okay,
need that.
okay.
No,
That's not what they're
no.
listening to.
Yeah.
Favorite European soccer team?
I got to go with it, Stoke City.
Nice. Home of Jeff Cameron. We like Stoke City.
Yeah, that's Stoke City. That's because of Phil Rollins and Kay Rollins.
Pulis.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Are you a Ronaldo or a Messi guy?
Messi.
That's the right
The
answer.
magician. The magician.
So now this is a little more open-ended because I don't think a lot of people, know a lot about you. Do you watch a lot of games, obviously, other than USL? So do you watch MLS, EPL, the national women's team, the national men's team? Who do you watch?
Yeah. I do watch a ton of games. James O'Connor and Daniel Bird kick my tail on the hours they spend watching games, but I watch a crap load of soccer. Yes, I do.
Good deal. Who's your favorite U.S. men's team? Because that's a little close
Player.
to my heart. Player.
Oh.
Yeah, who's your favorite U.S. men's team?
The only one?
Yeah.
I don't have a favorite on. I mean, I like to see Jeff Cameron playing because of the Stoke connection, but
Who can't you leave out of the starting
Dempsey, I guess. Dempsey.
Dempsey's fun to watch, yeah.
Let's go with Clint Dempsey.
I've always liked Dempsey. He's feisty.
He's from East Texas. I've spent a ton of time in Shreveport, and I like Dempsey a lot.
Jeff Cameron should be it should be a pinned in starter for us no matter where he
He's a
plays
good
every
guy.
game. Do you travel to see a lot of games?
I get to go see Orlando. The greatest thing I've ever been given in my life. Alex Wolf, Orlando City's operations guy, sent me a picture, and I ultimately got it a few days later, of an all-venue MLS unlimited owner's pass to any venue in the country. And I've received a lot of really nice gifts, but I don't know that I've ever received one as cool as that.
So, so explain the extent you can go to any soccer venue.
I can go to all venues, unlimited, locker rooms, suites, field, everywhere with that pass. And I sent Alex the biggest bottle of Evan Williams bourbon I could find.
That's phenomenal.
Alex Wolf is my hero.
Is that you and a +1? Just asking for a friend.
That's
borrow
just
that?
me. That's just me. And
Do they card? Do they check your ID?
they actually have
going
my
rate?
picture on it, actually. Yeah, they have my picture.
A little makeup, shave a little,
Yeah,
part my hair. We can do
we're,
this.
we're about the same age.
That's give or take.
Give or take 30 years.
What's your favorite stadium that you've been to, or favorite place to watch a game?
Wembley.
Wow. Who'd you see play there?
Saw Switzerland and the English national team play. I was over there with Ball State. I'm a trustee at the university. I blew out of all the meetings and went to see this Europa Cup. Excuse me, not Europa. It was a qualifier, and I walked up to the window that doesn't say will call. It says inquiries in England, and I said I need a ticket for one. And they said, we have one midfield about 20 rows up, and they sold it to me for face value. And it was freaking off the chart.
That's
It was
awesome.
So cool.
That's
so
awesome.
Cool. Wembley was great. Yeah.
Well, we're done. You knocked it out of the park.
yeah?
We took longer than 60 seconds.
Yeah, well,
but-
it's 90 seconds.
or 90
120.
seconds. But who's counting?
We measure time according to Rick
Right.
Pitino around here.
Yeah, time.
15
So
Never mind.
I like
Sorry,
number 6.
I couldn't help
think
it.
I think it leads in pretty well. Why do you keep doing your soccer thing?
I really like this sport. I'm grew up in the Louisville area in Jeffersonville, so I've enjoyed sports, but I really like this sport, and I like to see it evolving. And for some reason, luckily, I got involved at a time where it's not evolving; it's probably exploding. And we just have a great opportunity here in Louisville to do something with this.
We bring up a good point. So you've got your finger on the pulse in the youth soccer community, which means you, by proxy, probably know some of the high school players and how popular it is. In your view, you're saying that it's coming up, but how much has it exploded? Has it been a decade? Has it been? You'd mentioned earlier that you thought in the last 9 or 10 years, right, that it really took off. Has it been that same way in Kentucky?
Yeah, I just came from a board of managers meeting for Louisville City, and had really great people there. I had people on the phone. Our board of managers there's 5 of us, but we have other folks that sit in. James was there. Amanda was there. I made the statement that when we announced on June 4th of 2014 that we were bringing this team here, we had no idea the explosion we were about to undertake. Sorry.
He's also our sound tech.
Sorry. We were about to undertake, and I mean this sport exponentially. June 4th, 2014, we thought the MLS was capped at 24 teams. At the Winter Board of Governors meeting, they came back and said 28. Lots of talk about 32. I think the 28's probably already taken. I think the 32, we got a shot. We're going to have to get real serious. We're going to have to get very proactive. We're not going to be able to wait on things, and we're going to have to get. We're going to probably have to put a hell of a lot more money behind this to get it happening. So it is exploding. It really is. In the last 18 months, this sport has exploded.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, USL's, 29 teams. We'll go to 30.
28 because
32.
we got Austin flooded out.
That's right. Austin. That's
Yeah.
right.
We're going to gain a couple more next. We're going to gain a couple
Reno,
more next
Austin may
year.
come back.
Nashville
was just announced. Who knows who comes in after that? I mean,
Right.
So let's get back to the MLS thing. But how do you think that the team is doing so far? How
There
do
you
you
go.
think things are going? Do you think it's organized front office work? Is it going like you envisioned, or or are there some things that you
Year two's better than year one, a lot better. Front office wise, we've pretty much doubled the staff.
Nice.
I can tell you there was a decision made today. We've raised nearly $1 million in a capital call over the last several months. Our board of managers decided today we're going to go on and raise the rest of it to get up to $1.5 million this year. So your investors, your owners, Skyball, Mike Mountjoy, John Hollenbach, Barrett Nichols, me, a lot of other people have put another $1.5 million into this team this year. The decision was made today not to stop at just short of $1 million. We're going to go back to the investors, say we need all of it, boys.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the team's well funded. I think we're well staffed. I can tell you it looks like probably about May 14th or so in building up to that game, we'll have the hard opening of our store.
Nice.
At 125 South 6th Street. That's really going to come together well. Give us a great place to gather and to see what we've got. The ticketing staff, we announced today to the board of managers that we're about 83% renewal rate from last year. Our goal was 90.
Nice.
We hovered around 72, 73 forever, but today I found out we were 83. It's a great bump for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the team's in great shape. James and Daniel and Tabani have worked their tails off. We have 7 players that aren't with us from last year. A lot of them were marquee players. Top offensive, top defensive player in the league. I couldn't be more elated about Matt and Brian being at Jacksonville. They've got a great opportunity, but we've got a great opportunity because we brought 10 more guys in. Mm-hmm. We're going to bring in a couple more trialists here over the next couple weeks. Don't want to go into too much detail there. We've got some things moving around, but I think we've got a great side. Front office is cooking. We've had some bumps, but I think we've smoothed those out. But you cannot imagine where we were 18 months ago compared to where we are today. It's a completely different world. And as I said to the board of managers today, this league has accelerated so fast over the last 24 months. Mm-hmm. We had no idea what we were grabbing hold of at the bumper here. What we got to do is get ourselves into the driver's seat again.
Nice way to say that.
So have you heard from the players that we've sent off to Florida? Have you heard from Matt? And have you heard from
Brian still loves me, but I haven't heard from him. If he hears this, I hope he'll shoot me a text. But Matt Fondy called me a few weeks ago, and I've been watching him play and Brian play a little bit. Matt wanted me to know that he really appreciated what we did here in Louisville as a team and what you guys as supporters meant to him. We all hoped Matt was going to get a ride with an MLS side, but he's in his world, he's moved up a lot. Yeah. He's getting paid a lot more money. I don't really know if the NASL model works for everyone.
That's a whole other discussion.
But yeah. He's getting paid more money. And for Matt Fondy, I couldn't be happier. For Brian Burke, I couldn't be happier. For Juan Guzman, I couldn't be happier. Mm-hmm. I haven't been in this game that long, but I've never had a player call me and be as emotional as Juan Guzman was calling me from Colombia, thanking me for the release we gave him so he could go play for this team, team in Colombia.
Patriotas.
Yeah. He's an awfully principled young man, and it's great to see guys like that in this business. And I got to believe that most of them are that way.
Yeah.
But so all 3 of them have been really kind to me.
Nice.
So thanks.
Yeah. So we hear from him. I mean, Fondy's always welcome back home when he wants to.
I saw him playing on beIN Sports the other night.
I saw that.
He looked just as dominant in against Miami.
Did he score? I didn't see.
He did not score, but he had the same, just tireless work ethic,
Yeah.
getting after the ball. Still great connection between him and Brian. So
Yeah, it's
they look
great.
really
Great
good.
to see him playing. Fondy wasn't what you call a poacher. He was out there working to get the ball all
Yep.
the time and cranking to make something happen. So it's great to see him down there. I thought there was a connection. I was down going to the Orlando opening game, and I thought, I'll see if I can catch a Jacksonville game, but they weren't home. So it was, Jacksonville Armada.
Yep.
I like Louisville City better. So
Yeah, their fans weren't very loud or organized.
well,
They
they're
don't know yet.
learning. They're learning.
They are.
This seems like a pretty natural time to go ahead and take a break when we're talking about some beer. So we will get to it. We are back. Thank you, boys, again for talking about beer. If we didn't,
It was just Adam this time. I actually wasn't with him, so I don't know what
Seamless
he said.
transition.
that's
Do your wah 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 thing on there.
The magic of podcasting.
actually I know which one this one is. It's going to take a second.
Broken glass.
Okay. We got
It's appropriate. It's beer
Yeah.
beer glass.
crashing and burning.
Someone take this
Big
for
glass.
me. I
Very
can't
large
steer.
glass.
It,
Yeah. It's a hell of a lot
It's a
of
whole
glass.
tray.
Yeah.
So we're jumping back into it. Things are good, Wayne. We were just talking about it off air. You're feeling good. You had a meeting today. Anything that you can?
Yeah, I
discuss?
think we as an ownership group are thinking that we probably need to get some clarity from the MLS. At their winter meeting, they announced the 28 team expansion. You see recent publications saying that it's 28 by 2020. So I don't think Louisville's probably in that 28. I'll be honest with you. We got a lot of stuff to prove and a lot of stuff to put in place. But we as an ownership group pretty much decided recently here that we need to get that clarity and understand what the MLS is looking at us for. We're not the biggest TV market out there.
No.
But I think we have a very passionate sports base here. There's probably few cities that can promote things like the Ryder Cup, Churchill Downs,
Yep.
the Derby, what we're doing with college basketball in
Yep.
this space. So I think there's some really good things going on in the city that we need to make sure that everybody at the highest levels of soccer in this country understand. And I think we've got some serious competition in the area. I think we're dealing with a regional issue of Cincinnati, obviously.
That's truth.
Indianapolis, Nashville, and Louisville. I don't think there's going to be more than one franchise given or awarded or sold or whatever to those four cities. So
Right.
I think we've got a lot of ground to cover here in a very short period of time on a track that the speed keeps getting faster and faster every week.
Would you throw St. Louis into that mix? And because that's a city that MLS.
I think they're possibly in that 28 mark.
Right. They might already be on the radar.
Yeah, I don't.
Detroit is
Detroit,
not too far away.
yeah, Sacramento, obviously. Not, who knows? We're not in those meetings, and
Right.
we're not in those, but we're all speculators. But I do think I think if the league goes to 32, and a lot of people say it could go much higher, I think Louisville needs to position ourselves to be in that discussion. And we need to start asking the questions of what they expect of us.
So it sounds like you're trying to figure out how to galvanize the fan base, right? As you said, Derby, you've got the Ryder Cup, you've got people here who know how to celebrate
Supporters
sports.
are a huge piece of this. Okay, the three keys that we learned in Orlando and Phil and
they packed that stadium.
Alex and all of them have really have written the blueprint for how to go USL to MLS. It involves the ownership group quality and their capacity. Secondly, it involves the corporate partnerships in the community, and then lastly, a soccer-specific stadium. And we as an ownership group at Louisville City decided recently, today, at a board of managers meeting, that we need to be very serious and proactive about this. We were doing everything humanly possible to put a great team on the pitch, and looks like we're into our second season. We're only 4 games in, but looks like James and Daniel are doing their part. We've got a better front office, but now we need to start looking at the strategic future of what pro soccer is in Louisville.
So do you feel like you can comfortably look a few years down the line now? You know, you're year one, you're trying to get everything organized. Now you're comfortable. You're more organized year two.
Yeah, we're definitely not sprinting, guys. We're crawling, but at least we're. Last year we were kind of squirming on our stomach, but still did pretty darn well, and I'm proud of everything we did. But we're up on all fours. We're doing a good job of putting some pace on that crawl right now. But eventually we need to be sprinting here in Louisville to make this happen.
So 2020, 28 teams, a couple years after that, potentially 32 teams. Still a lot of competition to get to 32 teams. What happens if we don't make that 32 team cut?
Good question.
I think we've got a great future here, regardless of whether or not we're sitting here working with an MLS vision or a USL future. I've never been one to back down, and probably got me in more trouble than I care to be in sometimes. But I still think we can be there. It's going to take a different strategy than we've employed for the last year. We're going to have to be proactive. We're going to have to be putting some partnerships together that naturally may not go together, but we're going to have to start showing our numbers. And so I can't do more than just simply beg you to please, if you've ever thought about coming out to one of these games, start filling this place. And it has nothing to do with the fact that we're getting ticket revenue. It has everything to do that we've got a community behind this.
Yep.
And that we're loud and we're committed, because we are in a horse race with 12, 13, 14 other cities for a very limited prize. And you guys have done wonderfully. I take nothing away from any of you all, what you've done. But for us to compete against really incredible organizations, and I admire Jeff, I admire Mr. Lindner and everybody at Cincinnati for what they've done at a very short period of time. They are true pros. We need to show that we can do the same thing here. And we've got some hopeful announcements coming up here this summer of some really special events with the team. And we hope that we can get people out that aren't coming out. I see a lot of people that know I'm connected with this team, but we need to put butts in seats.
This seems like a pretty good time to mention. It's been on the social media sites recently that there's a $200 VP package that's coming up for Louisville City. It includes 4 tickets, 4 shirts. It's behind home plate. There's 4 sections that we're trying to fill out. Could you give us a little more information on that, Wayne?
Yeah, call the ticketing staff. They're eagerly waiting. I shot out a post the other day, and
sounds like a great deal.
Gave you all their phone numbers and their emails and everything, and it's an opportunity to encourage people. You know, Cincinnati has the opportunity there to capture concession revenue. Yeah, that's why they issue $5 general admission tickets and $1 if you're under 14 or something like that. Wonderful. That's great marketing. But they know that every college kid that walked in that door was going to spend $15 on beer. Yep. Okay? We don't have that opportunity. We need to show our support by buying tickets. And that's one of the things we're doing with this special package. So call the ticket office, any of them, Nikki, Campbell, all of them, Dave, they'll all help you. And they'll make it as easy and painless as possible.
I think you missed an opportunity here. You should have definitely added in Hug a Capo.
So
you get a VIP seat.
Who missed?
Oh, hear me out here. I got this. You get a VIP seat, third, right behind home plate, and then you get your shirts, you get your other stuff, and you get to go hug your favorite
they're also
Capo.
huggable, you know.
They're huggable.
They're all huggable.
It's getting on towards Kentucky summer, so it's going to be a nice sweaty.
Hug a sweaty Capo. Post game Capo though, not pre game. The post game Capo.
Post game is much more refreshing than pre-game. Yeah.
I was also volunteered to do piggyback rides earlier
That's
today.
so much better than my Hug a
slide
Capo
off,
idea.
Yeah, they
Is that a real thing? Are you doing that?
Yeah.
We could do chicken fights. We could do halftime entertainment, chicken fights. Put your kid on Ken's shoulders.
No, someone's liable for that. No,
not
someone's going to get hurt.
Somebody's insurance policy.
Yeah, no.
I went a step too far. All right. Go ahead, Kim.
So there's another component, and it's the media coverage. How do you think? I'm
way
trying to get
to
off
get
of chicken
serious
fights. I
with
really
it.
don't want to do that on a piece of scaffolding, but the media
Media
coverage.
chicken fights? Where are we going?
No, not media.
Yeah, see,
coverage.
he gets it.
See?
He gets it.
All right.
No, but the media coverage is here. How do you think that's going? You think it's?
You know, I give all credit to Amanda and one of our owners, Tim Malloy, and a bunch of them who have really worked hard to build this WLKY connection this year. I made the statement today that about every 4 minutes on WLKY you hear about their partnership with Louisville City, and that's been great. We love WHAS, we love WAVE, but WLKY stepped up and they're our partner. They're actually going to be covering our game. That's going to be on ESPN3. They'll have it on their MTV channel at the time of our game. So please come out and be on TV. Don't stay home and watch it on TV.
There you go.
Let's try to help there.
It's much more fun to be on TV than watch TV.
It is.
But people like Jonathan Lintner and the Courier have been wonderful. I'll be really glad when the Derby is over, so Jonathan can turn his time back to soccer again.
Get him off the horses, darn it.
We love you, Jonathan, but gosh, get
Come
out of
home.
come home to where you really want to be, baby.
Yeah.
But I think Jonathan's done a wonderful job. He's been great to us, and the Courier's been great. I think with media coverage has been really solid. We kind of bobbled a few things early this year, but I think we've cleaned all that up.
Is there anything you want to share from the USL winter meetings that you can share?
Yeah,
What the league is planning going forward?
we're gonna have some serious TV deals. We had two of the USL people here today.
Nice.
They were here in town checking out the stadium for our ESPN3 telecast. But they spoke to our board of managers meeting today. I think the TV deal, you saw the NASL announce their BN Sports thing. That's okay, but we're gonna have a lot of exposure in the coming years. There's a remote idea that they're going to run a lot of these, a lot of commentary, all the advertising feeds and everything out of one location in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
For all USL games.
Is that their headquarters, Fort Lauderdale?
That's for the company that's doing the telecast. USL's in Tampa, but it's they presented this at the winter meeting, and it was just too short a time frame to roll it out for this year. So we're looking at 17 being the year we roll it out.
Do you like that idea?
Yeah, I think it'd be great. I think it's going to really give high quality production. Great opportunity for some other revenue streams for us locally, and we're going to really elevate soccer. The great thing about our league is, the EPL and a lot of the European teams go into their summer lull. Their off season. So people are really hungry for this sport, and I think if we can produce a better product, get better content out there, it's going to be great for our league.
So we're going to be able to improve some of the camera work too. I don't know if you heard about the first game.
Yeah, well,
the second game.
I really can't repeat all the words that were in the email. I can't do that on radio or on a podcast because
we'll bleep it out for you.
The Cincinnati Reds guy who went on to the F-bombs like 75 in 42 seconds or something. I might have topped that. Yeah, I was actually at an event in Shreveport with my firm, and I'm watching this thing, and I'm going blank, 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 blank.
It's like
blank.
3 per second.
What happened here?
It was
because
bad.
I had a really good view of some ball boy or a left field fence of a baseball stadium, and it's like, what?
The fence looks nice.
What the hell happened here?
Watching the replays
Did you see
of the
it?
first game.
Yeah, you saw it.
No,
Okay.
on the big screen. Watching the occasional replays was is a challenge.
I don't know if those camera people will ever be behind a camera again.
No research done for that.
It was.
We're not
put it this
mentioning
way.
names. No names to mention.
We've improved, and we'll continue to improve.
So some of the things that changed this year from last year as well is that we're no longer, halfway through last year, we're no longer affiliated with Orlando. Is it different, and what are the differences of being not affiliated to an MLS club? Are there challenges, or do you think it's a better situation?
I haven't spoken to James point blank about it, but personally, I feel we're probably in a better situation. Last year, James and I were always talking about, somebody gets injured, we need to bring somebody in. Oh, well, what happens if Orlando sends us somebody, blah, blah, blah. This year James and Daniel and Tabani could compose their own team, not worrying about what we might get from Orlando.
Yeah.
It's given them a lot more clarity in crafting and molding this team. Phil Rollins and Orlando City, Orlando Sports Holdings to be exact, LLC, there's still an owner of Louisville City will be buying them out over 3 years. I don't think that's anything new, but we've got some really nice, they'll be here every other year for a friendly. We've got some nice features in that separation agreement, whatever you want to call it.
Which adds on to what did they call it earlier?
Daddy's
Daddy's new family.
Yeah, Daddy's. Oh God, that's weird. Actually.
Well, but you've added on to that.
I mean, imagine
with
the separation issues.
agreement.
Yeah, I mean,
and soon
you've got nobody to blame but yourself
be a
at this
divorce.
point.
Who gets what? I mean,
yeah. Well, we split the kid down the middle, I guess, didn't we? But anyway, no, it's been a great truly, Phil and any of the staff at Orlando will help us in any way they can. The beautiful thing, you ask about the winter meetings at the USL, but whenever we're around the MLS people, everybody truly, except for game day, they're all working together. And
Nice.
we're trying to build this sport in this country, and I really respect that. So I think it's a better situation, to be honest, Taylor.
Now, are there any plans for future partnerships, international teams? Wow, you just got called Taylor.
Oh, Tim.
We are not going to let that go, by the way. We'll be back to that in a few
Ouch.
minutes.
Sorry, Tim.
No.
Ouch.
We'll-
I screwed that up.
We'll address that when you're not here.
If that's as
You're
big a
good.
mistake as I made today, it's been
Well,
a
hey,
darn good
cheers.
Darn good Tuesday, baby.
Tim doesn't.
Sorry, Tim.
you have no idea.
Ouch.
I'll wipe my tears away.
Sorry. My bad. Sorry, Tim. It begins with T. I got one right.
That's all right. I'll give you that one.
1 out of 3. That's almost passing anymore. Yeah. Where are you going? Sorry.
International, or are there other partnership plans? I don't.
Yeah,
I forgot my
really.
name.
Honestly, since the decision, Orlando City called me one Saturday afternoon. Phil called me from Phoenix, and it was like he dropped an anvil on me. Truly was. And he said, "Here's what we're going to do, and we want to announce it really soon." And I asked him to please hold off for a little while, and he was very kind. He did. We haven't talked about any other affiliations, to be honest.
Strictly independent.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got a great staff, and if we need help, got a lot of people in this sport that we can call, but I don't know that we need a formal affiliation right now.
Well, now you bring up a good point. So we don't need a formal affiliation. We grilled Amanda on this. Academy. Orlando had an academy probably about year 2 or year 3.
Darn good one, too.
Yeah, they did. They got, and some of the players were
Tommy Redding, and a lot of players are coming out.
Tyler
of that
Turner.
stuff. Tyler, yeah.
Tyler Turner. They saw a good time too. Is there something in the works that we're looking at? You guys have partnerships, and
Yeah,
she explained.
Greg Brick, who's very involved in their academy. He's been a great friend to me in Orlando. I think Phil Rollins gave me some advice. He said, especially with my connection with Mockingbird, he said, stay out of the youth side until you get the pro side fixed and ready. When we feel like we've got the pro side ready, I think we can start talking about academies and youth affiliations, more formal. They're tough to run.
Yeah.
Especially if you go to a residential academy. But anytime we need advice, I can call Greg Brick or I can call Phil Rollins, and we're going to get a lot of advice.
Nice.
So I think we're waiting for the right time.
Makes sense.
Quite truthfully, I think we need to decide if we're MLS or USL, and then we can make those kind of decisions.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's probably a tough discussion to have. I know we had a question on here about, does NASL work? Is that in the future? Is that even on the table?
I don't see any reason.
I mean,
Alec Papadakis and Jake Edwards and David and everybody at USL has been nothing but great to us. I don't honestly see a reason to go to the NASL
Right.
at this point. Last year when we played Indy 11 and beat them in overtime in order to move on and play Chicago Fire in the U.S. Open Cup, the USL, I'm going to be a little off on this, but it was like 7 wins and no win. 7 wins for the
6
USL.
wins that night.
No,
we were keeping
that
track in the
night.
booth.
But overall, 7 overall.
I thought it was 7 total.
Overall.
Yeah.
We mopped the
And,
floor with
and
them.
I think the goal differential was something like 32-6 or something serious. And I know the owner, Ursel in Indy. He's been really kind to me. He's a very nice man. I just don't see a reason to think that the NASL is any better freeway than what USL is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We're moving down the road. We're doing great stuff.
The
Let's talk
level.
about that Open Cup match.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
The Indy 11 win?
Well, that was fun.
The Chicago win.
How about the upcoming one?
Oh, yeah. We're going to play at Bellarmine. It looks
Yeah.
like. Yeah. Our conundrum here last year was the bat schedule, and they've been nice to work with. We couldn't work out our U.S. Open Cup situation last year. So one of the things that Mike Mountjoy, one of our owners, was really adamant about was we somehow need to get that Open Cup game here.
Agreed.
And after going to a high school stadium in Michigan, James was pretty damn adamant about it too. So we've worked it out that we're going to have Bellarmine. We've sold 500 or 600 tickets already. They got a capacity of just under 2,000. Get your tickets. We don't know who we're playing yet. We should know shortly. So I think we should have our opponent. I don't even know when the.
I don't know. It's Detroit FC. It's Detroit FC or Michigan
Bucks.
Bucks.
Michigan Bucks is a good side, guys.
Both are equally difficult.
Yeah, Michigan Bucks. My son, when he played, we were always running into the damn Bucks.
They tear up the PDL generally.
Actually, I think that's the team that dislocated his shoulder one time in Des Moines in the regionals.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
God,
So
I hope
there's
we
some
beat
bad
them.
blood.
Yeah, I hope we beat them. I never put it together, but just did now.
full
Probably not a
circle.
good. While you're on a podcast, probably not a good time to start connecting dots, is it?
I don't know. I think it makes for a part of the drama.
Okay. Yeah, this one's for you, Andrew.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to dive into it. Last Thursday, there was an announcement by Metro Council, Metro Council was being spoken to about a stadium going down on Champions Park. That's a better way of saying it. Are you familiar with this?
Is this Councilman Johnson?
I believe so, yes, Dan
Yeah.
Johnson.
By the way, before we get started on this, this is the #1 topic of conversation. As soon as somebody I
Across.
talk to as soon as I start talking about my interest in soccer, whether it be U.S. soccer, whatever it is, even ahead of traveling and going to games, it's what's up with the stadium, where are you going with that?
Just so you know that we're sharing the pain. We spent about 75-80% of our meeting today as board of managers talking about stadium. So it's a big topic to us. The city has employed CSL out of Frisco, Texas. We've met with them, I don't know, a couple months ago. Jeff Mosley, the city attorney, is working very hard. Mayor's office is working hard to identify sites. I understand that the city moves at a pace that entrepreneurs move at a different pace.
I can attest to that.
And I think given the speed at which this league, USL and MLS, is evolving, we're going to be as patient as we can possibly be. We appreciate everything the mayor is doing, but quite truthfully, we really need to decide where and how this may happen. If we need to do it privately, we need to start lining up those resources. And we cannot exist in this league at Slugger Stadium.
No, you need to generate revenue.
Yeah, we really have one source of revenue, and that's ticketing only. And none of these teams are existing that way. And I'm incredibly thankful to the city for what they're doing, but I'm also incredibly thankful for our ownership, who are continuing to fund the team at subsidizing it at about $1.5 million a year to keep this team here.
Does the USL aid teams in finding capital? Is that something that they can? Do they have that kind of pull?
We've not seen the USL branded Brinks truck pull up. No, this is.
I wish.
There's so many opportunities for them.
Right.
We've got a great value here. We bought a franchise at a very reasonable price today. If you start a discussion with the USL, it's about a $3 million franchise. So we've been able to see some accretion of our value here just by good timing and using our head early.
Right.
So, but no, USL doesn't accommodate much of that. They'll help you. They've got some great standards for their stadium.
Sure.
Stadium ideas, but we really think we're probably boiling down to finding a private investor, much like we did in Orlando.
Makes sense.
I would imagine you have a few ideas for the stadium.
Yeah,
One or two, maybe?
I truly spent about 1.5 years working on the Orlando City Stadium as my firm, and we developed a pretty good base of knowledge. I wouldn't say we're subject matter experts yet, but I'd say we got a pretty good understanding of what it takes, and the cost and the acreage and everything involved.
Nice.
And we don't want to have to carry the drums up and down stairs, so you've got
Just
all of that mapped out.
Yeah,
We'll have, as we've spoken with you guys before, we'll have a really nice storage area for supporters. Yeah, very near
we are
where.
thankful for that.
Because you guys aren't getting any younger. Okay?
Oh yeah. Oh hey.
This
It's so dark.
This is definitely
all this
true.
darkness.
Once you get 60, I'm going in reverse, baby. Okay, but you guys aren't getting any younger. Yeah.
I can't.
Taylor, sorry.
Taylor's sad.
I'm gonna suffer that one for a while.
Yeah.
Just a little while.
Sorry, Tim.
That's all right.
Don't apologize, Tim.
I think
Run with it.
I think
Own
it's,
it. Own it.
It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, sorry. My
Taylor's
bad.
going to be really excited to hear that.
All right. Let's do some parting shots.
Let's do some parting shots. First, I want to invite Joe on here real quick. Joe is active with the Active Heroes, and he's got some information to share with you. Plus, that's a free bathroom break.
Taylor must have to.
Just want to ask everyone if I'm doing the mini marathon next Saturday, and I am fundraising for Active Heroes. That is an organization that helps people out who come back from combat, that deal with some serious PTSD issues, so on and so forth. So I'm acting as a fundraiser for them. If you go to, I've been posting links on Facebook and on Twitter. If you click on there and you find fundraiser, put my name in. And if you could help, whatever you could do to help would really be appreciated. And that's pretty much it. So
He's being really humble, too. He's running a mini marathon, and he's lost.
I've lost total of about 105 pounds.
Wow. That's awesome.
I've run 30 marathons. I'm in for $100 for you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Although I probably wouldn't have made it because at the game, and I need to mention this, we were doing the tailgate thing, and Ken in Ohio decided to start singing "Hail to the Victors" to some of the Ohio supporters, and that is the Michigan fight song. So we're going to ask him not to ever do that ever again.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Thank you very much, guys.
Born and raised there.
I'm in.
Okay, yeah, so we've got a number of things coming up. We've got Harrisburg Away Watch Party here at Against the Grain. So, it was a great party last time when we played Charlotte. We broke out the drums.
Yep.
We were literally dancing on tables, waving flags. We do a lot of singing. We do a lot of drinking beer. So that's this Friday, 7 p.m.
Ish.
Ish.
We're going to look at doing a TIFO painting this Sunday at 8 a.m. at the Against the Grain Warehouse. We got to get it done.
Ouch.
That is
8
our
a.m.
TIFO for St.
Excuse me,
Louis.
sir.
Dedication.
The notes I'm looking at says 10 a.m.
No, that is incorrect.
Yeah.
I ad-libbed a correction. It's 8 a.m. because we only have 4 hours to finish that thing up. And then we will do the next podcast, and you'll be there bright and early.
Yeah, you will.
Ish.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Next podcast will be 26th April. That's next Tuesday, a week from today. And then the game is next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow against the Pittsburgh
River.
I like it.
Otters.
Do it.
River Otters.
the Dirty Otters
Let's-
in the Dirty River.
Let's fill Slugger, please. It's going to be on ESPN3. We need a great showing. I know it's a weeknight, but come on, you can take the next day off. Let's
Yeah.
go.
It's part of Derby 2
If
weeks,
you work for the
right?
city, I mean, just take the day off. Especially if
I
you
need
work
you
for
to
the
send
city.
a note to the mayor for me.
Yeah. What kind of leverage?
So
you got
Wayne's
there?
offering handwritten notes to anyone that needs one for off work on Thursday of next
Can I
week.
get that tonight?
We're pretty good with those script forms, you know.
Do you guys ever see those during the World Cup? They have the handmade notes. You
No,
can
no.
we need to do those for our post game.
Please let Ken off work.
I'm going to be there regardless. It doesn't matter if I get off work. I don't need sleep. Sleep when I'm dead.
Okay. Everybody's talking about death tonight.
Yes, it's a dark pod.
It's a dark pod.
Hey,
Where can
by
we?
the way, I just want to bring up one thing that we haven't
Yeah.
talked about.
Okay.
Christian Pulisic is only 17 years old. Did you guys see his goal this past weekend?
No.
saw a highlight, yep.
No.
The goal was nice. The touch to get away from the defender was a seasoned move. So if you get a chance, find it on. We'll post it on our it's like we have a Twitter feed. We'll post it on the Twitter feed. If you saw it, it's a beautiful goal. He's getting quality time.
17-year-old.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
worry that as soon as you bring him onto the team, he loses his confidence.
Well, the problem is they're going to play him in goal.
Yes, they will.
Because they
No.
play everybody out. of
Well, I mean, everybody gets played opposition. We've talked about everybody gets played opposition on international teams. That's how it works.
so
Except for
why?
3 or 4 guys, because that's just how it works. You get your best players. But he's obviously a phenomenal talent. Apparently, he's a great kid, and if he's not he'll be on the Copa America roster.
At goal.
Shout out for Breck Shea. I think he's playing really well right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe outside shot, a position of need for the U.S. men's team.
He's learning defense.
Yeah, he's a great guy too. Really nice guy.
As Alex Ferguson said with Pulisic, if you're good enough, you're old enough.
Yeah,
good enough.
Good line.
You're old enough. Fair enough.
All right.
Where can we find everybody?
Wayne?
Wayne, where can we find you?
I'm on Twitter, Facebook. I don't want to. I get like 300 emails a day. I don't need more. So
more spam.
Shoot me a IM or something. I'll be happy to talk with you. And anything we can do to help promote this sport in this city, we're doing it. And I don't see all of it, so please tell me where I'm missing it. Thanks.
You do not have a Wikipedia page, by the way.
I don't. No.
Just throwing that
Yet.
out
No,
there.
I don't. No.
Well, you might after tonight
I'm
or whenever
really-
this gets
I
posted.
really
you might.
haven't arrived, have I? Damn.
It's been fun showing the players like you have a Wikipedia page. Get out of here.
This is pretty
Nah,
accurate.
It's pretty good.
I'm a little nobody yet. Yeah, that's the way it works.
Not after tonight.
Yeah, I've arrived.
Where can we find anybody else? Who's just jump out?
You can find me on Twitter at @B_doing DOING_work. And, of course, you can find us on the Facebook. AO Louisville's on Twitter and, all that stuff, too.
And you can find me on Twitter at Cooper_Colonel, COLO.
There you go.
NEL, not KRNEL. And then, of course, you want to get a hold of me is from the Cooper's capacity. Just hit the Cooper's website or info, email, what have you. And if it's for me, it'll get to me.
You can find the Coopers at Lou Coopers on Twitter. I believe we have an Instagram. I'm still not sure about saying. I think it's Lou Coopers. That Instagram.
think we have
Shanna's
Snapchat,
shaking her
too.
head.
We actually forgot
I
about the
don't-
most important Twitter account
Barrel
in this
Proof.
entire
Bearproof FC.
See.
Barrel Proof FC.
If you have questions, tweet at them. You can find me at the City Lad, maybe, if I'm on. I don't know. That's about it. Again, thank you guys for listening. Wayne, thanks for coming on and making
thanks.
it Wayne.
Wayne, you've
Thanks
been
for the
great. Thanks for
chance.
coming on.
It's been fun.
Again, hope to see you out at the next game. Nice. You got some use out of that.
Let's,
Is that clapping?
I don't.
it sound like a horse.
It's 2 coconuts.
It was $4. Again, you've been listening to Barrel Proof number 70. Thank you guys for listening, and see you all next time.
Cheers.